From the dark side of the moon to the noonday sun, everything that breathes and has life in it is spectacular, remarkable. Even the suffering and the pain that we experience teaches us the beauty of a new dawn, right? Life is a novel expression, and we are constantly creating novel expressions of the self, right? And it is a wondrous thing, inspiring truly to be a part of this great cycle of life, because it is cyclic. We tend to think in linear terms, but really we are revolving doors in and outs of creation and destruction, chaos and order, and from those things are born the unimaginable, the impossible. And here we are, creating and sharing. As we do so, we expand the boundaries of our consciousness. Hey everyone, S.E. Wells here again with Esoteric Cauldron. Just out running some errands on a nice and hot summer day here in East Tennessee. Been doing a bit of moving today. Just a bunch of stuff in the back still. And man, you know what? I just feel really good. And I'm a big fan of profound thought, right? And philosophy in general, and music. I love music. And recently I've discovered a mix of, on YouTube it's called Chillstep Alan Watts, and they have various volumes for the various things Mr. Watts speaks on. And I'm a longtime fan of Alan Watts, and finding this was kind of like finding a hidden treasure, a gold mine, and it excites me so much. I find so much reason to be in awe of these mixes that various people make, and they do such a wonderful job doing so, and to the point that I am slightly envious. I may try my hand at that in the future, because it is really amazing. And which brings me to a topic of sorts. Previously, in my previous video, I spoke on second to previous video, I spoke on existing empirically in the now and focusing more on ourselves and less on everything else, right? And Alan Watts, of course, speaks on this, but I was reacquainted with his thoughts on the matter, and it got me thinking. It's a lot like driving. Especially here where I live, especially when weather is extreme, it gets crazy. It's downright chaotic on the roads. And it's not a large city by any means, but it is a large town. There are plenty of people here, and there is a lot of confusion. And the analogy, or the way I want to connect the existing in the now and driving, is I was having a conversation last night before I went to sleep with my dear friend Felicia. And if you haven't checked out what I've been sharing of her material yet, you should do so. I think she has a lot of positive things to say, a good view and outlook on our nature, and kind of gives a good guidance on, not how you should act, but a good recommendation, right? Sets out a good trail for it. But it's The things that matter to us are what bring conflict. When we focus on what matters to us, we find ourselves in a state of conflict more often than when we are focusing on what does not matter. And I know that must sound absurd, but hear me out. When you hold a door for someone, if you're the type of person who holds doors for people, just something very simple like that, you do it because it doesn't matter to you. It does not bother you to hold a door open for somebody. What might matter to you is if you hold a door for somebody and they just shoulder past you while you're attempting to do a kind deed. And you'll notice that, one, the holding of the door brings no conflict. And if it's something you like to do, it is quite enjoyable, especially when well received. The thing that bothers you is being shouldered, and that matters to you. It matters to you to be shouldered through, or for someone to speak rudely to you, and that creates a state of conflict in yourself. So when you give it your attention, you give the conflict attention, versus, i.e., holding the door for someone. And the way this connects to driving is when you're focused and worrying about the way everyone else is driving, your entire ride, your entire trip is conflict. And you're enraged, you get road rage, and you want to curse and even give the finger, or some people like to run people off the roads. They must have amazing insurance for that. I do not, and even if I did, I am not big on running anyone off the road. So the thing here is it's just like with driving. When you focus on how you are driving, when you focus on what you are doing, and doing the best you know how to, the ride's a lot smoother. And I believe that has a lot of connection with life. When you live life in a way where you focus on what you are doing and not what everyone else is doing, the ride is a lot smoother, and it is a beautiful thing. And I'm wanting to share one more thought before I go. Alan Watts says in the beginning of one of his speeches, "When I speak to you, I am not selling you something. I am not trying to convert you to a religion." And he's talking about him speaking about the Zen spiritual belief, right? That has ties to Hinduism, I believe. And he says it's no different than when a performing artist gets on the stage. He is just performing, and his hopes, or her hopes, are that you enjoy the show. And I'm like, that's me. And I just want to put a PSA out on that. I have nothing to sell you, nothing to convert you to. I just want to share with you, the viewer, things that I find holistically enjoyable, that fill me with happiness and put a smile on my face. So I must thank you for viewing and watching, and as always, good luck out there, and what are you thinking?